Hi there, my name is Matthew Verker. I am a married celebrant and MC here based in South Australia. I reckon I've been to about 350 weddings over the last 8 or 9 years. Over that time, I've seen a lot of run sheets. In fact, I create a run sheet for every wedding that I go to now. If it's just a ceremony, I still create a run sheet. So you know what's going on, I know what's going on, make it nice and simple for you. Obviously, if we are MCing, very much we're getting that run sheet, talking about timing. So I'm going to give you some of the things that I do to create run sheets and keep it nice and simple for my couples. It's the one thing that really stresses people out. We don't know how to create a run sheet. We don't know about timings. What about the flow of things? This is what we want to do. How does this work? Here's where we're going to start. We're going to start at our ceremony time. This is the first place, and this is going to dictate your getting ready times, but also your canapes and then reception timings as well. What time of year are you getting married? Is it daylight savings? Is it the warmer months where the sun is going to set much later? Obviously, it's hotter during the day. So that's why typically we have outdoor ceremonies later in the day, because that sun's a bit harsher, or it's a little bit better by the time we have that ceremony. We could get some more shade, but it's just not as hot. That's really important as well. And the sun doesn't set for quite a few hours after that. If we are getting married in the cooler seasons when it's not daylight savings, well, you're probably going to have to bring that ceremony time forward, because if you were to have a 4 o'clock ceremony in the Adelaide Hills in winter, it's going to be dark by the time that ceremony is finished, and we don't want that. So, you might be looking at somewhere between, maybe 2 to 2:30, even 1:30 during the cooler months, where you're probably looking more that 3:30, probably 4 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock potentially, depending on where you are, what times are setting, what time the sun is setting. It's really important to think about your drinks packages or your venue packages as well. Like if you have a really early ceremony and you're staying on site, but your drink package doesn't start for 2 hours after, that might not be a great flow for your wedding as well. Things to think about your ceremony timing also is if you have people that are having hair or makeup, potentially, and if you've got a lot of them, that's going to take a lot of time. So you have an early ceremony, you're starting your day very, very early. So they're things to think of as well. I just spoke a little bit about the preparation stage. So you might have some photos in there, you might have some preparation time. So once you set that ceremony time, you're letting your vendors know, and then they're setting times back on that. You might have a photography schedule, so then your hair, makeup, or otherwise, or transport might need to work to those times. That's really, really important. If you're getting married on site, it does make it a little bit easier because you don't have those transport times, but there's still timings to work to. As for your run sheet following your ceremony into canapes, into reception, my recommendation is always to allow that 45 to an hour for your ceremony space. Now, celebrants shouldn't be talking for that amount of time, but it just allows a buffer time for the start of your ceremony and then more time to spend with your guests afterwards as well. Things to consider also with that canapé time. Have you done a first look? Because that will free up a lot of time post-ceremony. Now, it might mean that you need to start your preparation a little bit earlier, but geez, you're going to spend more time at the canapés. And that is the number one goal. We want you spending time with your people as that sun goes down. Just that glorious, glorious time of the day where people haven't seen you, or they're excited to see you, or you're just married. That's the really cool part. As for how long your canapes goes for before your reception starts, that can depend what time your meal services are as well. If you are on a private estate, you might have a bit more flexibility because you've bought a catering, but if you're at a venue, they might sort of dictate those food timings to a certain extent. So they're things to look at as well. Most venues will give you what time your guests are coming in, what time your entree and mains are, if that's the path you're going down, and then what time you're finishing. I've just given you all the key timings there. What time do guests enter / wedding party entrances? What time are my food timings? So that could be entree mains, it could be pizza, it could be cocktail. Whatever sort of options you're choosing are really, really important. What time does my sunset? We've already spoken about that. And then what time does my reception finish? Once you have those 5 key timings, you have the structure, you have the backbone for your reception, for your whole wedding day even. So from that, you're like, okay, well, when we do our entrances, I want a dancer. Cool, we might need to allow a little bit more time there to allow for that dance, or we might do a first dance. You might want to do your newlywed speech at the start of the night. Great option, seeing a lot of these. It's taking all those nerves off of newlyweds worrying about it for 2-3 hours, and getting them done at the start of the night. And people really love it. Guests love it because you're introducing them, you're involving them straight away. Otherwise, you might start your reception, come in, have a short amount of time, entree comes out. Here's the important factor. We do not do formalities over food service. At home, do we get up and, mess around when we eat? No, we sit down. We enjoy that time. Let the people eat. You will probably have a little bit of time at the back end of that where you can mingle, have a chat with people, or just sit down and relax. Enjoy a drink, chat with your partner, chat with your wedding, chat with your parents, whoever it is. Enjoy that thing. Don't rush through your reception. That's that's one of the most important things in your reception. Don't feel like back to back to back to back. You're not allowing a time to enjoy it, to let it breathe, for emotion, to get out and see the people you haven't seen for a year or 6 months, or the people you went to high school with, whatever it is. We want you to enjoy and get the most out of your reception. Your dance hall will always be there and it'll pump, but don't rush it. Really, really important. So we don't do formalities over speeches. Serve, eat, clear, and then we move on to the next formality. Depending how many people you have. So once again, 30 people compared to 150 people doesn't take as much time to serve, eat, clear as it does 150. You might not have time between entree and main depending on the time allowance for to do any speeches, to do any formalities. There might be golden hour in that time as well. These are things to talk about, think about, work out with your vendors. If you want to work out what time the sun sets, plug in this simple instruction in the Google. What time does the sun set on insert your wedding date and year at insert the suburb of your venue, and it will tell you exactly what time. All right. On the 7th of November 2026 in Manabasket Range, the sun will set at 8:10 p.m. Now, given it's out in Adelaide Hills, that sun sets a little bit early because it peaks over a hill, but they're things to think about, talk about with your vendors. Then we're going to roll into that next main service. And then what are we going to do from there? Potentially there's some more speeches. Potentially you've done your speeches already. So we'll have a bit more time to breathe. You can do a couple of games before you jump into that formal part of the night. You're dancing, and then your dance all kicks off. If you've done a first dance at the start of the night, you're not doing any formal dances or VIP dances, maybe a little game, bring that energy up, do a fake group photo on your dance floor, get your MC to organise that, and then open that dance floor. Really, really simple. And then the end of the night, we're going to allow time for your end of night formalities. If you're doing a sparkler exit, if you're doing a private last dance, for example, you're going to need to allow a little bit more time to move people. People had a few drinks by that time, so they're a little bit slower. Move people, wait, get spaces cleared. So just allowing a little bit of time there will help with that as well. My key points, your 5 key timings: ceremony timing, start of your reception, end of your reception, food timings, and then sunset. Once you've got those 5 key timings, you can work out all of your wedding day run sheet, relying on your vendors, asking them questions, and then you're just fitting all the pieces of the puzzle, your formalities, whatever you're doing throughout your reception amongst those key pieces. And that's as simple as it gets. Your wedding run sheet doesn't have to be a cause of stress. You don't have to rush things. Don't go back to back to back. Allow space. I always allow mingling time, free time. If things are running a little bit delayed, well, potentially that then gets us back on track or gives us a bit more time. If things are running beautifully, you've got more time to spend with your people, to sit down, to have that drink, to rest your feet, to actually take a second to breathe and lap it all in, because the room that you're in will never be the same room again. Enjoy your reception. Speak to your professionals. I hope those run sheet tips helped. Send us a message if you've got any questions, got anything you want to add to that. But that's how I put together a run sheet.